I think it's really important that you be your own person as well. Know who you are. It's hard to learn who you are at 18, but as you mature, you'll find out certain values that you think are important. I'm an old man with a lot of life experiences. I'm a dog lover, and I believe in hard work and certain values in life, which I'll go over. I started out working professionally as an optometrist. I've had multiple offices in West Michigan, 4 of them, which I ran and operated with myself and other doctors. So currently, I own a drywall installation company, and we're busy doing residential and commercial. We're doing a 11-story building in downtown Detroit. We're doing the metal framing, we're doing the drywall and the acoustical ceilings, that sort of stuff. Also building homes. I have a partner that's a home builder. We currently have 3 homes under construction. And we've built, about 15 so far. Maybe not quite 11, I think we've built so far. And that's worked out well. The Detroit market is like everywhere else. The housing market is good. Prices are high, but everywhere they're high. I also have interest in mentoring one of my employees who's now become a partner in the drywall business. He's Latino, and our workforce is all Latino. And so that's been very rewarding. I'm planning on giving him the company when I quit. I'm 75, so leaving is relatively imminent at the next year or so. So I'm bringing him along and learning how to run a company. He's extremely good in the field, running the field, but not so acquainted with the nuances of running a business and financing and so forth like that. So it's all good. Where there are challenges with everything. You have a lot of irons in the fire when you're building a home. You've got about 60 trades that you deal with from time to time. So everybody's got their own little problem or so forth. But it's nice you develop good relationships with the trades and other builders, and that's nice too. Okay. I don't know if you know much about who I am, Grant, but I went to public schools through high school. Then I went to a private school in Adrian, Michigan. Then I went to Western Michigan University. And then I went to a Big Ten school, Indiana University, for my optometry degree. And I'm licensed in Michigan, Georgia, Indiana, Texas, and Oregon. So that was a big thing for me. I've owned an insulation company where we install insulation in homes. A silt fence, that little black thing you see around a construction site, we had that business as well. So my advice, and at one time we had about 125 employees. We were quite busy. We were in Florida for a long time. I think the takeaway that I want to kind of talk about or leave are 10 points. One, I think it's really important that you work hard at something that you enjoy. I think it's really important that you travel and see the world as much as possible to experience all these different life people. I think it's really important that you be your own person as well. Know who you are. It's hard to learn who you are at 18, but as you mature, you'll find out certain values that you think are important. I also think that it's really important that you read history and understand history. I ran into one of my builders has a nephew that works for us part-time, and he thought that Germany fought on the same side as the United States in World War II, as opposed to, they were against each other. So I think it's really important that you enjoy your family, as much as possible. You got to cherish them. That's critical. One of the signs I have on my desk is accountability. And I feel that anything you do, you need to be accountable for and take responsibility. I think that's critical. In business, I make mistakes. I have to pay for mistakes. I don't process the people properly at sometimes. So I'll learn that, you got to be open-minded and accepting of other people's ideas and thoughts. I think it's really important that when you go to college, that you join a fraternity or a group of some kind, because those people will help you with your social development. It did for me a lot. When I got away from home, I went wild and crazy and partying, and I don't regret college at all. I think it was the best time of my life, personally. Um, I think it's really important that you be organized. And the other thing I think is super important is to find a partner in life that you can share life with down the road. So when you're out there and about with people, and you meet your partner in life that you're going to enjoy, it's important that you cultivate that and develop that well. I really think so. You know, currently I see patients part-time, locum tenens, they call it. So I'll work, maybe 1 or 2 days out of the month, filling in for doctors that go on vacation or this or that. I also have this building, or the house building, and I have the drywall company that I run, and I run the front part of the office in a sense. I do the proposals, I'll do the prints, and I'll manage the payroll portion of that, the banking, obviously. So,
How does a man move from optometry to drywall to construction? I mean, it's such a diverse range of businesses there, and so many different interests. How did you do that?
well, as a child, my father was an optometrist, my father was a minister, and my father was a builder. My father was also an orphan at age 13. Okay, lived on his own. So I grew up in a really tough environment from my father. And so growing up, every summer we built buildings. And my parents were the largest landowner outside the city in the school in this little town, suburb of Detroit. So I had this interest in creating with my hands and, carpentry, painting, whatever it might have been. So in optometry, initially, when I was graduating and my practices, there was very little insurance pay. And then capping came in, where insurances became the supplier for your source of income. They'd belong to a certain insurance group, you get paid. And so you were limited as to what your income could be. Okay. And when I saw that, I was dating a woman whose brother owned a supply yard, and she also owned part of that yard. So that got me interested in just the construction touch there. And I would work 1 day a week where I would come and work on the boom trucks, hauling board, to learn what to do, how drywall was handled and stocked, etc. And then when I got an opportunity to buy a drywall company, it became available. I bought one, and I would work half a day, 2 days a week in the field with the laborers, learning drywall, hanging, taping, sanding, doing whatever it was. So, like yourself, Mr. Rees, you had hands-on in the plant at one point in your life. And that gave you a greater appreciation for how hard someone has to work and the value of a job. I mean, not the value of it, but a fella can't come to either one of us and say, this job should take 6 hours when we know it should take 2. We can't be bamboozled into certain things. So it was a good learning experience. And then we got to be where we were doing 1,000 homes a year. So we were a moderately good sized company. And I still do the optometry because I like the patient contact and the information and the doing good, in a sense, of telling someone this is your situation and this is what we need to do to fix it, or recommend certain treatments options for them. The quality of the man running the job or running the show has to be of the high quality.
No, I think that's a wonderful point, Steve. And quite frankly, I'm glad to hear that you're in the traditional side of business of things. We don't have contracts for our sales. We take a phone call, we shake hands with the client, we ship hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of wood
Yeah.
with only a phone call and a handshake. And That's exactly right. You gotta trust your customer, you gotta trust the people you deal with, and when they break that trust, you end the relationship. It's just the way it goes.